The ocean has always been a place of shadows and giants. A vast, blue frontier where the rules of survival are written in blood and bone. Today, we look at the great white shark as the ultimate maritime predator, a creature of silent efficiency. But if we could peel back the layers of time, back 15 million years into the Miocene epoch, we would find a world that makes our modern oceans look like a nursery. This was an era of biological excess, a time when nature experimented with the very limits of size and power. In this ancient arena, two titans emerged, each representing a different peak of evolution. One was the culmination of 400 million years of shark ancestry, the Megalodon. The other was a radical new challenger, a mammal that had returned to the sea to reclaim it with intelligence and brute force, Livyatan. To understand the scale of this rivalry, one must first understand the world they inhabited. The Miocene was a period of tectonic shifts and changing currents. The oceans were warmer, and the diversity of marine life was exploding. Schools of small and medium-sized whales filled the seas, providing a nearly limitless supply of high-calorie food. This abundance acted as an evolutionary fuel, allowing predators to grow to sizes that seem impossible by modern standards. It was a golden age for giants, but it was also a battlefield. In these waters, being big wasn't enough. You had to be the most efficient killer to survive. This is the story of the two greatest predators to ever live, their biological weaponry, and the inevitable clash that defined the history of life on Earth. The Megalodon, scientifically known as Otodus, Megalodon, is perhaps the most famous monster in the fossil record. For decades, it has haunted our collective imagination, usually depicted as a colossal version of the great white. However, modern paleontology suggests something much more specialized. The Megalodon was a shark perfected for the destruction of large prey, reaching estimated lengths of 15 to 18 meters and weighing upwards of 50 to 70 tons. sperm. Whales are deep-sea specialists that use suction to feed on soft-bodied squid. The Livyatan was different. It was a raptorial predator, a whale that hunted other whales. It was roughly the same size as the Megalodon, between 13 and 17 meters long. But its anatomy was geared toward high-impact combat. The skull of the Livyatan was a massive block of bone 3 meters long, designed to withstand incredible stress. Unlike the Megalodon, which had a skeleton of flexible cartilage, the Livyatan was built of dense, heavy bone. This gave it a massive advantage in a physical collision. But its most striking feature was its teeth. These were not the relatively thin, flat teeth of a shark. These were massive, ivory daggers, some reaching 36 centimeters in length, the largest functional teeth of any known animal. These teeth were embedded deep in the jaw, allowing the Livyatan to grip, shake, and tear apart prey that was actively fighting back, while the shark was a master of the hit-and-run tactic. The Livyatan was built for the grip and rip style of combat, a predator that could hold onto a struggling victim until the life was squeezed out of it. Intelligence is the invisible weapon in this fight. As a mammal, the Livyatan possessed a brain that was significantly larger and more complex than that of the Megalodon, while the shark relied on acute sense of smell, electroreception, and vibration. The whale possessed something the shark could never match: sophisticated echolocation and strategic thinking. The Livyatan's massive forehead was filled with an organ called the spermaceti, which likely allowed it to project sound waves to sea. Its environment in total darkness or through murky water. It could track the Megalodon from miles away, analyzing its size and speed before the shark even knew it was being watched. This cognitive edge allowed for complex hunting behaviors, possibly even social hunting in small family groups. A nightmare scenario for a solitary Megalodon. However, the Megalodon was not without its own sensory advantages. It possessed the ampulla of Lorenzini, tiny pores that could detect the faint electrical fields generated by the muscle contractions of any living creature. Even if the Livyatan tried